Welcome to the Workbench After Hours podcast. My name is Keith, and I'm your host. This is where we talk about the firearms community, shop talk, and everyday life experiences. Welcome back to episode 462 of the Workbench After Hours podcast. It's been a long journey, but we're here. Just kidding. Episode 53.
Eventually.
Yeah, maybe one of these days we'll get to 462. But
Yeah.
right now we're just on regular 53. So, Chris, let us know what we're drinking.
We're drinking Jack Daniel's Straight Tennessee Rye. So when we were down there, they said usually in the regular whiskey, it's what? Their corn mash is higher than the rye content, and they just flip-flop it.
Yep.
So this has got 70% of their rye grain, and it still goes through their charcoal mellowing process. So just different, just flip-flop how they do the recipe, I guess. And it's supposed to be spicy. And it says it should have a sugar maple. So it will be interesting.
What's the proof on it?
It says it is a 90 proof, so 45% alcohol.
Nice.
And it says, every day we make it. We'll make it the best we can.
I hope so. Even though we didn't like it blind tasted, the regular one.
The thing is dark, though. It's really dark.
I don't know, that rye whiskey we had for 52, that was pretty good.
Yeah, I was shocked because usually rye and the spice is like, whoo.
All right.
It smells good.
Yep. Yeah, this has been, I've used to see it, and then there's been like a lull. I haven't been able to see it, and then I found it again. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to grab it. Let's try it. Definitely smells like that charcoal, that vapors that we got when they lifted up that was nice. That's what that smells like and then if you breathe in, you get that kind of, not only the charcoal, but you also get kind of a sweet taste on your tongue just from the vapors.
That back end comes with the heat.
I think it's pretty good.
It's good. It's just got that heat in the back end.
That ice will get rid of that.
Yeah,
for you.
it will. It's good, though. You still get that, I don't know, I can always taste like that mapley charcoal. It seems like with Jack.
Yeah. All right.
This is almost smoother than regular Jack Daniels, I think.
Oh, crap. It's been a...
Because Jack Daniels, you usually get the heat, but it's not as predominant as it is with this rye. But it's definitely, I feel it tastes smoother. I don't know.
See what it tastes like with this ice.
Yeah.
So I definitely know with Jack, I haven't had, other than our blind whiskey tasting, I haven't had Jack just by itself neat for a hot minute. When I was drinking it on the rock. So obviously that changes the taste a bit.
Yep.
We'll see what
Definitely
this does.
darker. You just like in color, you can tell it's more of that dark maple color. So
every time I see it, it reminds me of like a Christmas bottle.
it kind of does. It also reminds me because they also got their Jack Daniel's apple, and it comes in a green label like that. At first, I was like, "Whoa, you got apple," and then now it's rye.
Definitely that ice again gets rid of that burn at the back end. It's not as, now I don't know if this is an actual word, but caramely.
Yeah.
We just describe that a lot. It's not as caramely as a lot of the other whiskeys that we've been having. You definitely get a taste of the spices for sure on this.
Yeah. Which you should. With most rye, you get more of that spice flavoring.
This would be good for an old fashioned.
Oh yeah. My boss, he's got a little smoker kit for his, so he's been like sending me pictures of him smoking like his old fashions. I'm like, oh, that looks so good.
Ray bought me this kit to where it has these little wood chips and different flavors, and then comes with a lighter that you burn them, put the glass over while you make it. I should be like, I wish there was a bell. I'll be like, Marie,
Why don't we do it on here one day? Just try it.
we need to. That was something that she keeps wanting me to do, but I'm like, I keep forgetting about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe next time, and we'll try it with this
The rye, yeah.
the rye, because this would make it really good.
Yeah.
old-fashioned.
It's pretty smooth, and it does once you put that ice in, it takes away a lot of that heat.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So whiskey of the week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for this weekend because Chris is graduating his master's, and we get to open up his bottle of Sinatra Jack.
I know. I can't wait. I'm excited.
I hope it's as good as we remember.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it will be.
Yeah.
It's been in a dark cupboard.
You gonna try it neat first?
Oh yeah. Neat, and then well, maybe on the rocks, just to see.
Yep.
But oh, it's so good. Because that one's actually what I think we said it was 100 proof.
I don't remember. I know it's sitting up there.
I know it's a higher proof than what normal Jack Daniels is.
But it didn't seem like it.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it was just real smooth.
Problem is, we didn't try it neat. We just went straight to
Ice,
on the rocks.
yeah.
And I had a tall glass, and I had it filled with glass, so it kind of ruined it for me. I put too much ice in there. So
Yeah, I just remember it being how smooth it was. That's what I remember out of it.
awesome. Excited.
I can't wait.
So I guess my segment now,
Yep.
the gun of the week.
Gun of the week.
Joe Biden hates this gun right here. So does 95% of those Democrats because it looks scary, but it's not. It's a sporting rifle. But this is the Zastava USA ZPAP M70. So this is these are actually made in the U.S. now. Zastava USA has a plant here because you cannot. I don't think we can import from Russia anymore.
Well, not
Or anywhere where these were originally made.
Well, I don't know. We just did change. We might have changed that with
Right?
that little negotiation they did.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Hopefully.
If
Some
not,
good
we could
stuff.
probably get a hold of the Merchant of Death and get them in.
Right? But these have been really popular over the last couple years, I would say. And, I mean, if you're familiar with AKs, this is basically what your AK looks like. This is a much nicer looking one. A lot of the AKs that came from overseas would have mismatched furniture, and it didn't look as nice as these do. So these look much nicer.
Yeah, the wood finish on it looks really good.
This is a walnut wood on the furniture here, and I mean it's USA made now, so it's made in Illinois. So
funny.
yeah, Illinois. There you go. But it comes with a standard capacity magazine.
Ooh.
YouTube won't let me have that on video, so that's why it's missing the magazine. I'm not allowed to have 30-round magazines in a video, which is crap because they're standard capacity.
Yeah.
But yeah, Zastava is really cool, very popular. They had the original ones that were made overseas, and I'm sure you've seen them. They obviously don't look as nice as this one, but same setup. What I like about this one is the bolt hold open, because a lot of the older and even cheaper models of AKs, when you shoot that last round, it doesn't hold the bolt open like a lot of the rifles that we're used to, like with an AR.
Yeah.
So with this one, it's designed to have that last round bolt hold open, which is really nice because then you know you're out of ammo, and it's not like, oh man, am I out, or is that
There's a jam or a misfire? Or...
Yes, and all the parts and everything are normal AK. The thing I like about this is the button to take the dust cover off to access the bolt and everything. It's a lot easier to use function-wise than the standard ones because it's a button instead of having to press that thing in and like try and get it the right way. So they make it a little bit easier to access that dust cover. And I think I have a video on how to field strip this, not this particular one, but the same model. These things are really cool. I want to do a cleaning video on these because these are a little bit different than cleaning an AR-15, but shoot 7.62 by 3.9 standard AK ammo. It looks like an AK-47 full auto, but it is not. It is a semi-auto sporting rifle. That is not a scary gun. It does have a 1.5 millimeter bulged
Trunin receiver.
cold hammer forged chrome lined barrel.
30 round detachable magazine.
Yeah, read those specs, Chris. I can't see it.
The bolt hold open notch on the safety selector. Adjustable front and rear iron sights. It says it's 7.9 pounds, so
I mean, it's got some weight to it.
yeah. Feels more than like 7.9. Feels closer, probably like 10.
Yep, has the cleaning rod.
Yep. It's
built in.
35 inches in overall length. 16.3 inch barrel is the length of the barrel, and that is finished in dark walnut furniture.
Yeah, I love the look of this. It comes in
It looks so good.
the lighter finish, but I like this darker finish. You could also get it in. They had the red finish that you used to see the older AKs in. If you're one of those people like the old school look of the AKs and like that red, they have that red dark stain on there. But I like this look.
I think the walnut looks slick.
Mm-hmm. I had the M92, Zastava M92, which is the pistol version of this thing. I think we've talked about it on a previous episode, but that was a hand cannon. This is not meant to be in a pistol format at all. To be like, it's just, that wasn't a functional gun.
Yeah.
It was like just a toy. Nothing
Show
you can,
off.
Yeah,
pretty much.
it's a why not gun. But this is awesome. I love these things. Like I said, they've been really popular. Generally, you can find them sub $1,000. You know, it sucks. The AK market used to be really cheap. Like you used to be able to buy a Wasser 10 for $500. Not anymore. After that whole COVID thing and the gun scare, and shoot, man, I can't even find a Wasser 10 anymore. And if you do, they're going for way more than they should.
It's crazy.
So, I mean, is this a $900 to $1,000 gun? Probably not, but that's what they're going for now. So, but I mean, of course, if you have a decent AR setup, you're looking at about $900 to $1,000 anyway.
Pretty easy.
But these things come with the iron sights, and if you're familiar with AK sights, they're kind of like your older mil-spec stuff. It's got this basically bar here, and then you can lift that for windage, you know, whether that works or not. I think these have a way to mount a scope. You have to get that side mount for it. That's the downside of AKs, is they're a lot harder to mount scopes, and they're not quite as easy to mount things to like an AR. Like an AR, you could, if you wanted a foregrip here, flashlight, laser, add it on there easily.
It's all about the handguard.
Yeah. You can actually, they make polymer sets where they have rails for these.
Yeah.
So you can easily take off this, you know, the metal furniture on the handguard. You could swap out pretty much anything for polymer grips, stock.
I don't know. I think it looks just slick with that dark walnut.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to have an AK, you got to go with the classic.
Yeah.
Look. Unless you go with like an Arsenal, then maybe get the polymer stuff, but classic AK, I just like. And I always say you need an AK in your collection. I don't have one.
Neither do I.
I mean, this is the businesses, so this is for sale if anybody's looking for it. Check out boomsticktacticalllc.com. Just kidding, but no, not really. Yeah, so this right here on the side, that's where you're going to mount your scope.
So it's like
Scope mount
almost comes up on the, like up to a right angle.
Yeah.
Is that how it mounts?
Yeah. So not all AKs come with this in order to mount one. So these newer ones do.
Okay.
So that's a good thing about them. But Zastava arms, originally in Serbia, where this was made, but this was actually done by Zastava USA. So that way we can have them. So really cool. I mean, these things are tanks. You can pretty much run this into the ground, never clean it, freaking take it out to the desert, leave it in the sand, and it'll still shoot. Like, these things are way better at running in subpar situations than your AR. ARs can be finicky unless you get like a BCM. Those have been proven to be a little bit better. But for the most part, your ARs don't like to be run dry. They don't like muck in them, stuff like that. You can have more issues. AKs, I mean, are known to run
all the time.
all the time, no matter what. And there's a lot of videos out there of people doing torture tests on them.
Yep.
So check those out. It's really cool at what these things can actually go through and still run. Iraq veteran 8888 did a meltdown video on a couple ones. And really what happened is the handguard, because it's wood, caught on fire, but it was still going. Like, it's on fire, but still firing.
That's crazy.
And the downside with the ARs is basically the gas tube and block.
Yeah.
That's technically usually what fails first. This, I mean, this is kind of your gas tube here, and it's
beefy.
Just way beefier than your AR. A lot bigger round than the AR round 5.56 This does recoil more and isn't as a soft shooter as an AR, mainly because you got a fixed stock. And I guess is that metal or rubber butt plate?
Feels like metal.
Yeah. So it's you're definitely gonna feel the recoil on these, but as you should, it's a bigger round, so it doesn't have a buffer like the ARs do. So there's always that argument, which is better, the AR-15 or the AK-47? What's your thoughts, Chris?
Personal preference really is what it comes down to.
But if you had to choose,
man, I don't know.
I guess it depends on what you're going to use it for.
Yeah, that's the thing. It comes down to are we going to go out and are we living like in the woods, hiking, that type of living, or are we living in our comfort features that we have now? Because if we're living in like just homes and we're not really going out a lot, I'd take the AR. But if we're out in like wilderness 24/7 living off the land, then I'd probably go with the AK.
Yeah, because you don't have probably aren't going to have access to cleaning this like you
wouldn't.
Yeah, and the bad thing is these things come kind of coated in this oil, so my hands are getting a little oily, but that just keeps it from rusting.
Yeah.
A little bit, I wouldn't say more difficult to clean than an AR. It's just trying to get inside the receiver. That could be a little bit more pain in the butt, but I mean, do you really need to clean it? Probably not.
Probably not. Seen people throw those things in the dirt and let them sit and soak in the dirt and mud, and they still fire like that.
I don't like my guns dirty though.
Yeah.
Like, sure, when you're shooting them, yeah, let's get them dirty. But like when they're sitting in the safe,
death, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I like to keep them clean. That way, if I
want to go out and shoot, you're ready to go.
Or if I need to use it in a self-defense situation, I know it's clean, it's ready to go.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about there maybe being gunk in there that's gonna cause some issues. So, but these AKs, I'm not a huge fan of the safeties, and they always tend to scratch your receiver right there, just from that moving back and forth. And a lot of the ones, the older styles, I mean, those things are freaking tight. So it's almost like really hard to get those. These aren't too bad, the safeties on here, but yeah, they take the obviously the polymer mags. Magpul is pretty popular, but then they also take any of the metal ones. I have a collection of so I got some Bakelights, some original Bakelite magazines that are pretty cool. So take those. They make drum mags for these. It's definitely going to add weight, though. Yeah. I mean, this thing's already not light. Then you add a full 50-round drum mag for Joe Biden. That's going to be a little heavy, but yeah.
Does those have a U.S. patent, I wonder?
Doesn't say on here.
Okay, I was just wondering.
I hate it when the guns are like etched in there, read owner's manual before use.
Yeah.
Really? You're taking away from the aesthetics of the gun with that crap on there.
Yeah. They got it on there for some reason, though.
Yeah.
I was just wondering because you know how like a lot of our most stuff says U.S. patent, whatever. And since that was a Russian gun, pretty much, I didn't know if we had patents on them.
Doesn't say anything on the gun.
So you can pretty much copy and make your own without getting in trouble.
Can you make your own gun now? The governments want to try and get rid of that.
Oh, good luck with that.
Yeah.
That takes away from how a lot of things were made in America.
You can build an AR, or not AR, where you can obviously build an AR, but you can build an AK. It's just you need specific equipment for it, and it's a lot harder to do. Like a lot of them will come with, you can buy them in kits, but if you want to like truly build one, you get one with a flat steel, and then you got to fold all the receiver sides, and just they're a lot harder and take more
precision and
specific equipment.
CNC machine can do it.
Yeah. So you do see some build kits out there for AKs, but unless you have the right equipment, it's kind of a pain. You need like almost like this bottle jack set up because you have rivets in those things, and it's not as easy as an AR. That's one good thing about the AR platform is
it's simple.
So easy to put together, change out parts, mount scopes to it easily. So but again, then is it going to run as good as an AK in certain situations?
Yeah, it just all depends.
Mm-hmm. I think if I had to choose one or the other, I'd still go with the AR because of the if you could use it for hunting, you can use it for home defense. You
Yeah.
can take the scope on and off easily, put a flashlight on there or not.
You can customize it. So simple.
Yeah. Like with that, could you hunt with that the way it is?
Probably.
Probably, but you're not going to be able to hunt longer
Long
distance like you would
yeah.
with an AR and be able to put a higher powered scope on there. So that's where, if you're limited to one, probably go ahead and get the
Yeah, I'd probably go AR, but if I had to like just live off the land and have one rifle, I'd go with AK.
Well, we should get you an AK.
No, not right now.
No?
No, I'm good.
All right. All right.
Maybe
I have
later
this
in the
one's for
future.
sale, so we can cut you a deal.
Yeah.
I got a form sitting in front of me. Why don't you fill it out and we'll do a quick background
I don't know if I
check?
could understand all the new garbage in that.
Yes. So that brings us to our main topic. The ATF is up to their sneaky little stuff again.
Is it the ATF or is it the government?
Well, the ATF is a
Like,
part of the government.
yeah, but I say it's more bigger government than the ATF.
Mm-hmm. Well, so if you haven't heard, the Form 4473, which I have the current one in front of me right now, this is what you fill out when you buy a gun or at a gun shop or if you have one transferred. But this is the paperwork that you fill out every time you buy a gun. And it's been standard for a couple years now. They changed them up a few years ago to where really they just moved the placement of some things around. Like here where it lists what gun you have, that's on the front page now, where that used to be on the last page. So they basically just swapped that, moved it around, but didn't really change the wording. They added non-binary as a option for your sex, but other than that, that was all they changed. Well, now recently, they actually did not notify me. I'm an FFL, but they did not notify me that, hey, we're changing these forms. I've learned from other people making YouTube videos on it. So I got on the ATF's website and found where they've changed it, but they haven't sent out anything to.
When it goes into effect with that form.
So they haven't honestly said anything to me as an FFL. I don't know if they've reached out to any other FFLs, but if you look up on their website, they want you to use the new forms that they just came out with, now.
Huh.
And so they don't have the paper forms. They have a one that you could print off, but not the one that's binded together like I like to use. If you do e-forms, they have them e-forms, but they're going to have the paper forms available in February. And you're required to use them starting, I want to say, April of next year. So they hey, we want you to use these now, but it's not law to have to use these until I think it was April. We'll look at that date. I'll pull up their website here in a bit. But yeah, so I had no idea until I started watching YouTube videos. And they're sneaky because they're not just supposed to, most of the time, they don't just make the changes. They make the changes and submit it for review and people to look at and say, hey, yes or no. Nope, they change it and here, this is it.
That's crazy.
And it's a little more confusing in some areas.
Just the wording and how they word things.
So they've changed about 10 different things on it. So I have the original form right here and then the new forms, and I kind of highlighted everything that they added to or removed from the form. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. So this is the website, the ATF's website, where they have all the changes that they're doing and what it actually changes. So let's see here. I need to come over here to scroll. So yeah, I think down here it says when I'm supposed to actually use these. I can never find anything when we're live or recording. But the paper forms are available February 1st.
Of 2023.
Yeah. And then the E form is going to be revised as well. So it's April 1st, 2023 is when it's mandatory to use the revised form. So April 1st. So if you guys are looking to purchase some guns here coming up. I know most of us have, we usually have this form memorized, so we just go through it real quick, like name, address, all this stuff. First one's yes, the rest are no. Sign, date, bam, you're done. FFL does everything else, but you're going to have to kind of read some of these questions because under the questionnaire section where you answer yes or no, they've added 2 other questions to it, and it's super confusing.
Yeah.
But the first thing that they changed is at the very top of the form where it says, warning, all this stuff. If you lie on this thing, you're subject to, it used to be up to 10 years and $250,000 fine. Now it's up to 15 years, $250,000 fine. So they upped the years that you're going to spend in jail. Although Hunter Biden lied on the form and he hasn't served a single day.
10 years, and I bet he didn't pay $250,000.
Nope, not at all. So after that, the first change is in the section here where you list the gun. Your FFL actually fills out this area, this box where it lists the gun, make, model, serial number, all that. So it used to just say the manufacturer and importer, if it's listed. Sometimes it lists both or none if it's a really old gun. And that was it. And now they've added privately made firearms, PMF is how it's abbreviated. So ghost guns.
So your 80% lowers that you buy and you complete and all that is what they're trying to make you do.
And the reason they do that is because, say, I take a trade on a gun that somebody made at home for something else, like I take that trade in, has no serial number on it. But as an FFL, if I get that gun or they want to transfer that gun to somebody else, as an FFL, I have to now make a serial number for that gun. Like I have to put a serial number on that gun in order to transfer it to anybody else.
Okay.
Which is, one, a pain in the ass because I don't have the equipment or means to put a serial number on a firearm.
Well, here's the problem with that too. Like, let's say you just want to start, if you're going to do it, if you have to do it, you're going to start with, let's just say 1.
You can't just start with 1.
Does it give you like how many letters or numbers you have to have in it now?
Yeah, they state that you have to have part of your license number in the serial number.
What the?
Yeah. Let's see.
So would that mean you have to get a manufacturing license because you are now giving guns a serial number? Because that's almost like being a manufacturer at that point.
Right? Yeah, see, they don't elaborate on the website, but all these lawyers that were talking about this were basically saying that it's like, yeah, at that point you do become a manufacturer. Well, yes and no, because I didn't actually make the firearm. I'm just putting a serial number on it, so I don't think that technically meets the definition of.
It's talking about it right there.
So let's see here.
So it's got to begin with your abbreviated license number, which is the first 3 and the last 5 digits, as a prefix and the unique identification number, followed by a hyphenated, e.g., 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 unique identification number. So, okay, let's say you do that, but you just, after that, you do your license, you just do 1, and then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, and so forth. Because that'd be a pain in the butt for you to keep track of every time you do it.
But how am I supposed to do that? Like,
I guess you can, because you know how, like, the old school, you can go buy those, like, stamps with numbers and letters. You can buy them, and you can just hammer it, boom, and it'll stamp it into whatever it is. I bet you'll have to do that, like, somewhere on the receiver.
But if they're doing, like, the 80%ers that are primarily plastic, how are you going to do that?
I don't know. That's going to be, you'll probably have to stamp it on the barrel, I bet.
And if it is, say they're trying to trade in a firearm that was made before they started serializing firearms. In order to put a serial number on that, you're going to devalue that firearm.
Yeah, especially if it's like an old antique or relic that's worth lots of money.
I know. So putting a serial number on that, and it depends, like, where do you put the serial? Obviously on the receiver, but some of the older guns, they're on the barrel. They're on the like revolvers. They're usually kind of where the cylinder is at the bottom. It like where do you put the serial number, and do you have to serialize like, especially the old guns? You know, they have the barrel serialized. They have the butt plate serialized. They got the receiver serial, like all to show everything's number matching. Something like that. Would we have to put a serial number on all those different components? And
see that they don't really talk about that. They just say it has to be stamped on there or have a serial number.
Mm-hmm. And like if so, it's
because I almost feel like that at that point you're becoming a manufacturer if you're serializing something.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions there, but
that's kind of crazy.
I don't think this will become a huge issue because those people making their
Guns,
quote unquote ghost guns,
they're not going to freaking trade them. They're going to keep them for themselves, or they're going to bury them for a later use.
Or why would you take it to a gun shop
and trade it?
Yeah, you're going to privately sell that.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole
and
reason.
You're definitely not going to be using this form.
Yeah.
When you're doing that, it's most likely you're building it, and then you're going to, I need money or something.
I don't think this is going to come up as much as they think it is.
No.
Because if you're privately making a firearm, you're making it probably not to sell a bunch, especially to an authorized dealer. Like
you're more likely there to keep it. You wanted to keep it hush hush. That's the reason why you're building it.
You're trying to stay away from the government's registration that they're trying to do. So why would you?
Yeah.
But so I, in my opinion, because I really don't want to do that, I would just not take in the gun. I'm like, sorry, like there's a gunsmith shop down the road. They got an FFL. Do it there.
Okay, who's to say? There's other FFLs out there, I'm sure, that are a little bit more shady.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I'll just give you cash value. You just give it to me, and then they keep it as like their own ghost gun.
Or they just sell it to somebody else as a
ghost gun or private.
And don't even put that in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this isn't really going to stop you from still selling anybody to anybody. Like,
I just
laugh.
It's just funny that they added that in there for these quote unquote ghost guns. But the rest of it, you know, it's fine. You put, you know, how many firearms you're transferring, and then all your information that's on your driver's license. None of that's changed. And then it starts changing where it gets to 21, and this is where you start answering the yes or no questions. So the first one was always, are you the one actually
buying the firearm?
Are you? Yeah. But they put this they had a warning in there that's abbreviated, but they kind of changed the wording a little bit. So it used to say, warning, you are not the actual transferee buyer. If you are acquiring the firearm or firearms on behalf of another person, and that's it, like the firearms on behalf. Now they've changed it to if you are acquiring any of the firearms on behalf of another person. So why add it in any?
Yeah.
So whether that's going to affect anything, I don't know. And then they added 2 other questions. So then it went to are you under indictment for, you have a felony and all that stuff.
Misdemeanors and all that crap.
So before you get to that question, they've added 2. And the first one is, do you intend to purchase or acquire any firearm listed on this form and any continuation sheets? So that's basically if you buy more than 3 guns, because there's only 3 spots on here so if you buy more than 3, or ammunition for sale or other disposition to any person described in questions 21, or a person described in question 21, and who does not fall within a non-immigrant alien exception. So basically,
you're not buying this gun for anybody else but yourself, and ammunition.
Well, it's like, why do you have to put that ammunition in there? Like,
that's dumb.
You don't have to have these forms for ammunition.
Yeah, unless they're trying to go to it where everyone's going to fill about background check for ammo.
So that would be typically a no. You're going to answer that one no. And then, do you intend to sell or otherwise dispose of any firearm listed on this form and any continuation sheets or ammunition in furtherance of any felony or other offensible, punishable by imprisonment for a term of more than 1 year, a federal crime, terrorism, or drug traffic offense? So basically, you're going to give this to somebody that shouldn't have a gun.
Yeah.
should be no. So it's still going to be yes, and then all the other ones no. But it's funny that they
keep adding ammunition in there.
What are they? Is that a?
I think is this like a prequel? Like this is
what we're moving to.
Yeah,
I think that's trying to get rid of straw sales.
Yeah, that's what it kind of sounds like, but
again,
really, that's not going to stop anybody.
If you're going to do a straw sale, you're just still going to say no. Like, why would you? Oh, yes, I'm going to put yes on here.
Yeah.
Well, then you mark yes. Oh, guess what? I can't sell you the gun. So, and then the rest are your normal. Do you have felonies?
I always still think whenever I see this, I still remember from Ozarks. Remember when the guy goes in there and buys it and he accidentally put yes? He's like, oh, you're buying this for someone else? I think you meant to say no.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, those are your shady FFLs. But so all the other questions are the same, and it doesn't change until that paragraph, that bold paragraph that none of us read after the questions, and then it's right above your signature. But everything is the same, except for it basically changes the wording of the last sentence. The original one, I further understand that the repetitive purchase of firearms for the purpose of resale for livelihood and profit without a federal firearms license is a violation of federal law. So you can't sell guns for a profit, right? The new one states, I further understand that the repetitive purchase of firearms for the purpose of resale to predominantly earn a profit without an FFL is a violation of federal law. So it goes from livelihood to predominantly. So I think that's if, for a livelihood, you are doing this for a living, probably do it in your main business, to just predominantly selling and earning a profit. So maybe not even having a business, but
you're just doing it on the side for a side hustle.
So
what's the difference in like stock trades then at that point? They're doing that. You know, it's the same damn thing.
Yeah, so I think that's, what is that, paragraph? I keep forgetting my mouse needs to go over here. So I think that's just trying to get rid of, again,
straw sales.
Straw sales are people trying to buy and sell guns without doing the paperwork on them. So your private sale stuff. And the main reason that they're doing all of this is because of the new law that we actually did a podcast on not too long ago, the Bipartisan Safety Something Act.
Yeah.
That basically changed it to where if you're under 21, you automatically have a 10-day waiting period. Yeah. So this form has that in here too. So I think that's what kind of started this, and they're like, oh, we're going to change a couple other things. Another thing that they changed is on the FFL side is where the rest of this comes into play. So you can actually sell guns at gun shows, obviously. And normally on the gun, if we sell it at a gun show, we just have to put the name of the function. Like, hey, this is the, say, Overland Park Gun Show, and then the city and state. Now they want the actual county and address of the gun show. Which is just, I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's a pain in the ass. It's more bullshit I have to put on here. And like, what does that care? Like, what does that matter? Like, it's in this city and state. Why do you have to put the street address? That's just irrelevant information. Like, oh, we're going to go back and see if this was actually held at this address on this day.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Fuck off. So it's just more work for us, and it's pain in the ass. And then they added a little notice. So under that is basically where we put your ID that you're using to buy this gun. It's usually your driver's license. And then if there's any other identification that you can provide, especially if you're in the military. But they added a notice, and this is where that whole Bipartisan Safer Act, I forget the name of it.
I don't remember.
But they add in here right before where we enter the date and the background check number, a notice. If transferee or buyer is under 21, a waiting period of up to 10 days may apply where notification from the NICS is received within 3 business days to further investigate a possible disqualifying juvenile record. A NICS check is only valid for 30 calendar days from the date recorded in question 27A. And that's basically the date you run the... So a waiting period of up to 10 days may apply. So I'm wondering if when I do the background check through the NICS system and you're under 21,
what happens?
is it automatically going to delay you if you're under 21?
I don't know. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, because it doesn't say automatically.
Yeah.
So I wonder how I haven't sold to anybody under 21 yet. So, and not usually I have.
No, usually yeah.
So that's one thing I was wondering is because in that whole bipartisan act, they don't say
what it does in the NICS system, or if it says it's delayed, or if it's you just know now it's going to be delayed, and then you have to go back and check 2 days later.
Yeah, so it says it may be delayed for up to 10 days.
That's weird.
Right.
So that sounds like almost like you could run it and it might not get delayed, and because it says may.
Or say it does get delayed, but say they don't find anything in your juvenile record. So, okay, it came back before the 10 days, and you're good to go.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe that, or maybe somebody that does have a juvenile record that they have to go through, that gives them the up to 10 days.
Yeah.
But my question is, after that 10 days, is it like a normal delay to where after 3 business days, if I don't hear back from the NICS background check, I can, if at my discretion, go ahead and transfer you that gun?
I don't know. That's kind of crazy. They don't. I'm shocked they don't have that stuff in there.
Yeah. But
also, they didn't even tell you that there's a new one coming out, so what do you expect?
Exactly. And then...
Way to go, ATF. Way to go.
Yep, so they added a whole nother section under the... Basically, after an FFL runs a background check, this is the part that you don't see, but we mark if it comes back as proceed, delayed, whatever. They add a whole nother section on if after the 3 days... adds some options for the 21-year-olds. Yeah. So, here we go. No response was provided within 10 business days after an initial delay for a transferee buyer under 21. So there you go. There's the answer to our question we just asked.
Just had to read a little further.
So I have to give it that 10 days.
A 10-day waiting period.
And
business days.
Yeah. And
if you're open Monday, or what if you're open 7 days a week? So is it? It's
the government business days. They don't work on the weekends. They don't count the weekends.
Well, I'm sure they do.
So that's why sometimes you'll see a longer delay if there's a weekend in there. Like, it's more than 3 days. It's like 5. Well, that's because there's a weekend and or holiday in there.
Yeah.
So I guess that means if you're under 21 and you get delayed and 10 days is up and I haven't heard anything, I could, at my discretion, if I wanted to, transfer to you at that point. And then usually NICS will come back with a proceed, denied, or canceled after that. And if it comes back as denied, well, guess what?
Sorry.
They got to deal with it, not me.
Yeah.
So, and then the last thing is, and none of us ever read this, but it's basically something, there's a bold, big paragraph where that's above where the FFL signs the paperwork, where they add in basically saying that this transfers within 30 days. So it basically has to be within 30 days. So, yeah, they just added in a sentence there. But yeah, they changed a bunch of crap on here. But I think it all stemmed from the whole 21
bipartisan act that they did.
Yeah. And then they're like, oh, we're going to
make it confusing when you read it.
Add in these ghost guns and try to stop these straw sales. But again, like, why would you answer yes to any of those questions? Yeah. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to buy this for somebody else.
Yeah.
Or a bunch of other people that shouldn't have a gun, but I'm going to go ahead and mark yes on the form. Idiots.
It's the government.
Yeah. But yeah, if you're interested or if you're an FFL, check out this site here where they pretty much go over everything. There's a bunch of different YouTube videos from Second Amendment lawyers that kind of go over some of this stuff as well, and it's some of it just doesn't make sense of why they.
It's just like how you vote. Like they make it sound like it's so terrible when it's actually a good thing, or they try to confuse you to get that vote.
Yeah,
on the way they word things. It's so just be fucking cut and clear for the people. Don't fucking try to hide things. Just be fucking open.
and that's what a lot of the people were saying is this can trip people up.
Yeah,
on the way they word some things.
yeah. Just be fucking open. Be crystal clear. Don't add all this stupid jargon in there. I don't even know why it has ammo or ammunition on a fucking form for you to buy or transfer a gun. That is so fucking stupid.
Yeah, because it says any.
I'm pretty sure that's for firearm transfer and buy, not ammunition.
You intend to purchase or acquire any firearm listed on this form or ammunition.
Yeah, that's.
And then give it to somebody else. So I guess, well, I mean, technically, if you're an illegal alien or somebody that was deemed a felon, you really can't own anything like you can't own ammo because
you can own a muzzle black powder guns, so that's ammo. Or muzzle loaders.
yeah,
it's just, I don't know. I think it's dumb that they put that in there because you're not talking about
if you're reading
any ammunition on that form. You're listing guns and the serial number of the gun. I'm pretty sure you're not fucking putting in a box of ammo what the serial number, lot number is, when it was manufactured, and all that.
Not yet, I'm sure. It wouldn't surprise me if that becomes a
thing now. You gotta do background check for ammo, so everyone go buy all the ammo you can because this is a prequel.
Yeah, it just reading those two statements, it
makes no sense why they would have it.
It's like, well, shit. Do I answer yes or no? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, put no.
Just put no because do you intend to sell this firearm? Just put no. Yeah. Just answer those no and
you'll be fine.
Yeah. Because people are gonna be like, well, I may sell this down the road, so do I need to mark this yes?
Yeah, I just put no.
Because you're not gonna be, because basically what that's getting at is, are you gonna sell it to a non-immigrant alien, or somebody that's federal crime of terrorism or drug trafficking offense? So don't sell it to a drug dealer
or a terrorist.
Or if you do, just do a private sale and
Like, how are you supposed to know? Like, hey, this person's a terrorist. Like, do they announce it on the news for us? Like, it's not like a Bin Laden, back in the day. You don't know if what their intentions are.
Nope.
I'm not a mind fucking reader.
So what are your thoughts? Now, I don't know the whole background to this trade that really
I'm fucking pissed.
So I know nothing about this guy other than what I've heard. I've heard he was he was in the service and all this stuff, but I also heard that movie Lord of War was based off of him.
Yeah, it was.
So is he American or Russian? Like, was he, obviously he served in our military. Was he born in America or
I believe
Russia?
so, but I don't know. I'm still pissed off about it. I'm really pissed off about it because we left a Marine over there, someone that supported and defended the Constitution and served his country over there, over someone that broke the fucking law, knew she was breaking the fucking law, and they brought her back where she should be put in jail for breaking the law here.
You know the real reason, though, right?
I don't give a fuck.
You know why they chose her and not him? I'm sure you can guess.
I'm sure, but it's fucking stupid, and it's a slap in the face for any veteran out there.
Because
she was very disrespectful. She wanted to fucking kneel for the fucking flag and all that. Get the fuck out of here. If it was me and I was in charge of the WNBA, she would never be able to play a game ever again.
I just wonder if she wasn't a black woman, would the same deal went down?
Or LGBTQ or all that bullshit too?
Say she was a white, just your white male Olympian basketball player. would the same trade have been done?
I doubt it. It just infuriates me that this administration, since they've taken over, have pretty much slapped every fucking veteran in the face by leaving billions of dollars over in fucking the Middle East for everyone else to take and now use. Congratulations. Now they got our technology because China doesn't need to follow our patents. And then you just left a Marine over there for someone that knew she was breaking the law. And if it was over here, her ass would be thrown in jail for breaking the fucking law. But and yet, since she's a celebrity basketball player, gold medalist bullshit, she's fucking being free. Double fucking standards.
How stupid can you be traveling to another country fucking drugs? It's like,
Yeah,
come on.
it's. I'm just pissed about it.
How long has that other guy been over there?
And well, they're saying it's espionage, but it's really not espionage.
But how long is he?
I don't know how long he's been over there. I think it's been longer. But this administration's just.
I kind of want to reach out to this. I forget his name. The Russian guy.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is. I like the Lord of War. I like the business deals. Like, let's run some guns, buddy.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah, but
I like the movie.
Yeah, the movie is great.
Like, I mean, you get it though. I mean, yeah, you're supplying weapons to war, but I mean, that's how governments make their money. Is supplying.
That's how a lot of governments. I mean, look, we just left billions of dollars for everyone else to fucking take. What the fuck's the difference?
Mm-hmm. Like we're supplying all these weapons to Ukraine in a war that we're not even
fighting in.
Yeah.
What's the fucking difference?
Why not do that for your personal gain? If
Yeah.
you can figure out a way to do that.
Just like manipulating the stock market. Pretty sure the government's got their hands in that too.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know.
Anyway.
I'm pissed off about that subject.
Yeah.
Like I heard about it and I was just like,
What can you do? Nothing we can do about it.
Nope. I'll run for president, take over and change all the bullshit he's doing. How about that?
You can't run for president. You don't have enough money.
I know. Well, I can use social media to my thing and have everyone, you can do a write-in. So everyone write my name in. I'll be your fucking president. We'll get this shit squared away.
You're going to have to run against Kanye.
I don't give a fuck. Who the fuck's he?
Or Yee. Sorry. Yee. Who'd you vote for? Yee.
I don't care. I'll run.
That guy's wasting his money freaking running, man.
Yeah. Adidas dropped him. He's broke. Lost billions of dollars.
Yep. He's a weird guy.
I have nothing to lose. I have no money, so try to take it, government. I have nothing. You get nothing. Thanks to you.
Anything else this week that you saw, or?
No, that was the biggest one. Then that pissed me off more than anything. That little trade.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Well, I just wanted to get that information out there. If you didn't know that they were changing up the forms, and if you buy a lot of guns, then you might notice, hey, wait a minute, there's some more questions on here that I'm not used to.
Yeah.
Or something, or it looks a little different. That is why. So they did. It is different. So it's coming. So this will be
these
mandatory.
collectors now, if let's say they're going after these old guns, and I guess serialized. Do you think they're gonna freaking do that, or do you think they're gonna try to start buying them under the table?
So technically, if it is a gun old enough to not have a serial number, at that point, it's probably an antique firearm, maybe. So then you don't even need to go through a FFL.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, there's some guns out there that I might not. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have one that doesn't have a serial number because it's a really old 22 bolt action rifle.
Yeah.
From like Sears.
I did see something kind of cool though the other.
Wait, I'm just kidding. I do not have that.
I did see something kind of cool though. I think a couple days ago I saw some guy had like a Glock Gen 2, like the old school ones, and he shows the difference, and then a Gen 5 next to it, and compared them, and then he's like, man, nothing against Glock, but the Gen 2 quality looks better, the finish, and like the Gen 5s are like pretty much a copycat of the old Gen 2s now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they just recycle and then use cheaper, crappier parts. And the quality's quite not there.
That's what every company does.
Yeah.
Right.
But I thought it was just interesting.
I know that the triggers have improved.
Yeah. But they said pretty much the layout and everything else, design is pretty much the same.
Because Gen 3 is where they started going with the finger grooves.
Yeah. Well, the Gen 2 didn't have any finger grooves, just like the Gen 5s.
Yep.
And the dimpling and the simpling and all that.
They did that. They did that as a
I like the Gen 3. That's my favorite out of the gens, just because of the finger grooves.
Yep. I'm Gen 3, Gen 4.
Yeah.
You're either one. I know there's a slide finish difference between the two. But, like, I have a Gen 4. Most of mine are Gen 4 blocks, but I have nothing against the Gen 3s. I do like the finish of the slide better than the Gen 3. It seems to hold up and not scratch as easy as the Gen 4s. Gen 5, they kind of went back to the older finishes that don't scratch up as easy, but whatever. But yeah, that was their thing. They said when they designed the Gen 5s, they were going more towards their Gen 2s that set up that didn't have the finger grooves. And
it was very interesting when they had, because he literally had the old Glock like canister with plastic and opened it up with the new Gen 5 and compared them.
You know, I want to get with Ryan and do a video, because the most popular video currently on my channel is the Glock 19 versus the PSA dagger.
Yeah.
And reading through the comments, it's either or, but a lot of people do complain about the trigger. And that was my main complaint, was the trigger on the dagger.
Yeah, but his trigger, he's got work done on
I
it
know.
and all that.
So I want to do kind of an updated video. Ryan, if you're listening, I want to borrow your PSA dagger to do basically an updated video to show the upgrades that's been done to it and how it can be made better.
Yeah, because
the
trigger on it was slick.
Yeah, he did some work to it.
That barrel.
But you got to think.
But as much money as you're spending.
Yeah. PSA isn't trying to sell that as an equivalent to, say, a Glock 19. It's supposed to be a budget gun. So you're not going to have the best trigger. You're not going to have the best everything on it. It's meant to be an entry level kind of or budget pistol.
The thing I did like about the dagger, and that I almost consider, is just because it did have the RMR cuts. That's the only reason I was really tempted about going, because then because their sights were garbage, and I was just going to throw a fucking red dot on it and be done. And then a trigger, but even then, Glock.
Another thing I've noticed in the comments is trying to find a holster that fits
it. Yeah.
Could you use a Glock 19 holster? Yes, but they don't fit very well. They're usually too tight, and with a holster, obviously you want to get something that's molded to your gun. So hopefully here soon they're going to be coming out with more holsters.
Get a clips holster back on. I got an idea for them.
Did they have the PSA?
I don't know if they do or not. I would have to go back and look. But when they were talking about SHOT Show, you know how they said they had to wait for the guns to come out to get their molds? Mm-hmm. With our iPhones, we got that LiDAR sensor in there. You can do 3D imaging and copying. I wonder how close that is to like their molds that they build, or if they've tried it. Because then you could technically go to SHOT Show, scan the guns, both sides, and then you can go ahead and get the holsters, start producing them and getting your molds for them, so then you can start producing them faster.
Sounds like you need to pitch something to them.
Yeah. I got you.
We'll go to SHOT Show and send them all the diagrams.
Yeah. But I was like, that'd be an easy way to get molds faster. Instead of waiting for the gun to come out and be released, you can already have it.
So is there an app for that, or is there a certain way?
I got an app on my phone because I've scanned my whole like living room one time with my LiDAR sensor, and it brought out everything.
How do you do that? Is there...
Well, you got a sensor on our iPhones, a little LiDAR.
Right.
And that...
But how do you scan your room? Like,
there's an app for it. There's apps for everything. But...
Yeah, Chris. What other apps are there for? Bluetooth.
There's a lot of things. But that LiDAR sensor, you can sit there and like do like 3D imaging and scanning of rooms to get dimensions and things like that. I wanted to see how accurate it would be.
Our work has something sort of like that they're working on, to where I can go into a house and
Do like a 3D scan.
Yeah. A little buggy, and it honestly seems like more work than honestly me just doing a quick sketch of the house.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's there. It's only going to improve. But I've seen guys with they set up a tripod in the middle and have this LiDAR thing on there, and it says somehow it scans the
whole room. Yeah.
But the app I was using with my company, we actually had to like use a camera and kind of name each wall and all.
Really?
It's a little too complicated.
Shoot, mine, I could sit there and I scanned my whole living room, and it took like the bird's eye view, side, everything. It was crazy.
You should reach out to her and see.
Yeah, I should get in contact.
See if honestly, see if they have any. We need to see if they have any holsters for
the dagger.
The dagger, because I know Ryan really needs one.
I bet everyone probably does.
He ordered one for it was a Glock 19 one, and it didn't fit.
Yeah.
So that's another downside to the PSAs. But again, they're offering it at a lower price
for a reason.
So you're not gonna get a Glock for $300.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to cut some cost somewhere, and the trigger. But yeah, I mean, you can buy aftermarket triggers. I mean,
yeah, but you're looking still at 150, I think, for a decent aftermarket trigger.
It's kind of like their ARs, because you could buy an AR build kit through them for super cheap, but you're getting the lower end mil spec stuff, and you can upgrade that crap as much as you want to and get them more expensive. So it's just they're offering it at a lower price point to get you close to a Glock 19.
Yeah,
at a little bit lower price point, but again, you're going to lose some
of those features.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's the main.
Yeah, his he put some work into his, and it's nice.
Yes.
So
we need to go to the gun range.
Yeah, I want to spend more money on the Glock, but I gotta wait.
Why, Chris?
Because I might try to buy some land first so I can shoot on it.
Would be nice.
Yeah. Like, hey, we want to go shoot. Let's go outside real quick.
Mm-hmm. Bring Kama, shoot some videos.
Yep.
Bring Jacob. He's got a drone now.
Yeah.
Get some cool overhead shots.
Yeah.
We'll get on it so I can have some cooler content for my YouTube video.
Well, we'll work on it. We'll see.
Right.
I want land. That's all I want.
Yep.
So we'll see.
Well, cool. Well, that's all I had for this week.
Yeah.
I didn't really see anything crazier.
No, just...
Again, I would have had no idea about this form change unless...
You're watching YouTube.
Yeah. I pulled it up and saw, form... Well, let me look into this a little bit more. Turns out.
Yeah. I don't know. Just between that and the stupid trade, that's the only thing I've really seen.
It was nice to have Hunter on last week.
Yeah.
He said we were thinking about having it on this week, but he turned up sick.
Mm-hmm. No bueno.
Nope. Well, cool. Yeah. Hopefully, maybe next week we'll hang on to this rye and try and do some
smoked.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be awesome.
Smoked old fashions with that kit. Actually, we'll go downstairs right now and have Marie show us how to make one with that kit and be like, oh, okay, let's do that for the podcast. Or maybe she pre-makes like some of it and
just bring it up.
Yes.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. Cool. Well, stay tuned for episode 463 or 54. 54. We'll get there someday.
Yep.
Who knows if maybe our setup will change by then, right?
Oh, I'm sure it will.
Yeah. So cool. Well, we appreciate you guys tuning in this week. And again, if you guys have anything that you want us to talk about, any ideas, any questions, let us know in the comments. Like, give us something to talk about. Otherwise, you're going to just hear us come up with boring stuff.
Yeah.
What guns do you guys like? What do you think? AR or AK? Let us know your thoughts. Which would you choose?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So yeah, leave that down in the comments. Remember, this is a YouTube podcast. So remember to like, subscribe, tickle that bell for notifications so you can be notified. Even though it's every Friday, everyone. You should know this by now. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, remember to follow us. And with that, have a good one.